If I were starting my business, Cactus Lady Creation, today, I certainly wouldn't build it the same way that I built my brand nearly 10 years ago. When I first started my business, I thought that branding meant designing a logo, choosing a few colors that I liked, and then just making sure that everything looked pretty cohesive. But over the years, I realized that branding is much deeper than that. And the strongest brands aren't memorable because they have a pretty logo or trendy aesthetic, but because they connect with people and make them feel something. And ultimately, branding is emotional. And so in this video, I'm going to walk you through the branding process that I would follow if I were building Cactus Lady Creation today. And together we're going to create some fresh visuals and a visual identity. And my hope is that by the end of this video, you'll feel more confident about creating a brand that is not only beautiful, but attracts the right people that you're wanting to attract and that can grow alongside your creative journey. And this video is sponsored by Lovart. And when they reached out about collaborating, I actually thought that it would be a perfect opportunity to revisit something that I've honestly been thinking about for quite a while. Branding can feel pretty overwhelming when you're looking at it as a long list of tasks, like figuring out who your target audience is, creating a logo, coming up with a color scheme, designing the website, creating the packaging, and so on and so on. But all of these things are just expressions of the same story. And once that story is clear, every design decision is much easier to make. So if I were starting over, I would begin with a notebook and I would spend an afternoon asking myself a few questions. I'd ask what I want someone to feel the first time they discover Cactus Lady Creation. I'd ask what values I want people to associate with my tapestries, what kind of experience I hope that they have when they watch one of my videos or receive one of my handmade pieces, and what problems of theirs that I'm actually solving, and why I would want someone to remember my business and work with me 6 months after they've stumbled upon me online. And as I started reflecting on the answers to these questions while even preparing for this video, I realized that especially as I started this channel around 2021, I thought that Cactus Lady Creation was all about educating people. I shared crochet and macrame tutorials and then eventually my business insights, and I also sold my tapestries and commissioned pieces on my website, and I thought that the problem that I was solving was giving people art for their homes. But the more that I actually sat with this, the more that what I realized that I've been trying to create is an invitation for people to slow down, reconnect with their creativity, discover the joy of making something with their hands. And with my art, I've solved the problem of human connection. Through my art, I share feelings, expressions, and moods without words. And I want people to feel a connection with that and want to put that into their homes and that feeling into their space. And then once realizing this, I can make sure that every visual decision that I make reinforces this feel, from the colors and typography, the photography, the illustrations, to even the way that my website is organized. So it's good to do a bit of brainstorming to get the foundation of the brand that you're building. And then once you do this, you can translate those ideas into your visual identity. All right, so now that I've discussed some of the problems that I am solving with my business and what I want Cactus Lady Creation to represent, it's time to start translating those ideas into some visuals. So this is where I'm going to open up Lovart, and rather than starting with a blank canvas, I'm going to begin with a creative brief that captures everything we just discussed. So I'm going to tell it that Cactus Lady Creation is a handmade fiber art and education brand that encourages people to slow down, reconnect with their creativity, and find beauty in making things by hand. And my audience is made up of thoughtful, creative people who are drawn to craftsmanship, storytelling, and nature-inspired design. I also want the brand to feel timeless, organic, whimsical, and quietly magical, with an aesthetic that reflects the feeling of walking through a wild flower meadow with cacti and spending an afternoon doing something with your hands. So one feature that I really appreciate about Lovart is that it doesn't just generate a logo, but it actually explores different creative directions for the brand as a whole, and this includes the logo concepts, typography, color palettes, supporting visual elements, and making sure they all work together. So basically it's a collaborator when creating your brand assets. And one of my favorite parts of the process of branding is typography, because fonts really communicate so much more than people even realize. A serif font, for example, has that timeless and literary feel, while a handwritten font feels more personal and approachable. And some typefaces feel playful, while others feel more elegant. And so it's really important to choose one that fits the personality of your brand. And the same also goes with color. The color should also support the feeling that I'm wanting to create. Soft mossy greens, earth tones, faded cream, creams and purples tell a different story than bright primary colors or bold high contrast palettes. So once I've settled on a direction that is really authentic to this brand, I can start building what's called a brand kit. So I'll upload the logo I've chosen, define my typography, save my color palette, and establish the visual guidelines that I want to have shape everything moving forward. So once I've finished building my brand kit, I can start creating all of those different pieces from the same foundation. And instead of designing every asset individually, I'm gonna ask Lovart to generate a collection of marketing materials that all feel like they belong to the same branding universe. So each branding decision should answer this question: does it make someone feel the way that I would like them to feel according to the messaging of my brand? So for Cactus Lady Creation, that includes YouTube thumbnails, Instagram carousel posts, Pinterest graphics, website banners, product packaging, thank you cards, workshop materials, promo graphics for new collections that I send out in my emails, and make sure that all of these things feel like they share the same typography, color palettes, and just overall visual aesthetic, because they are all being built from that same branding kit. So of course, branding is never something that you're gonna get right on the first try, but now that I have these initial concepts, I can start refining them and making small adjustments as I go along. Now, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over the years is that consistency creates trust. So when you think about some of your favorite brands for a moment, whether it's a clothing company or a local coffee shop or even your favorite artist, chances are that you could recognize their work before you even see their name. And this is because they've created a visual language that's so consistent that every interaction feels familiar. And I think the same is true for us handmade businesses. When someone discovers one of my YouTube videos or visits my blog, I want those two distinct experiences to feel connected. If they see my tapestry at an art gallery, or they receive a thank you card in the mail, or come across a Pinterest post of mine 6 months later, I want them to recognize all of those different distinctive things coming from the same creative world. So that's really what a strong brand does. It helps build familiarity, and that familiarity over time builds trust. And then when people come to know what they're going to expect from you, they're more likely to remember your work and recommend it to someone, and then come back again in the future. So the goal with branding is to make sure to build something that feels recognizable and cohesive and consistent at every touch point, and just make sure that someone, when they interact with their business, are able to recognize you. And one feature that I found really helpful with this process is that you don't have to start over from scratch every time with Lovart. And I really appreciate that branding can also naturally evolve with your business as you grow and learn more about your audience, and your style develops also, of course, and evolves, and your messaging becomes clearer. Being able to have that flexibility and make adjustments without having to constantly start over just really makes the process more approachable. So when I look back at the early days of Cactus Lady Creation, I can see that my business has evolved much faster than my branding did. My products changed, my audience changed, my message became more clear over time, but my visual identity didn't always keep that same pace. So one of the things that I really love about Lovart is that it helps with updating the branding visual identity to reflect what I've grown into. So now, whether I'm designing my product packaging or my workshop workbooks or email headers or whatever I'm designing, all of those pieces can feel connected because they're coming from the same visual identity and foundation. And then over time, that just really allows you to have more mental space to actually be able to create. One thing that I really wanted to broach in this video is that there's much discussion online, and rightfully so, about AI and the issues surrounding it. But one reason that I wanted to share about Lovart with you all is that I believe that it's really doing its part to address the ethical issues surrounding AI. One issue that I know that I have is with IP. I just recently did a video on that, and another one is the environmental concerns, and they address what they're doing about that here with the Lovart ethics and policy team. So I'll leave a link for this article below for you to check out as well. And as an artist, I really like that they don't allow copyright to be infringed. That is a huge problem right now, and I really felt that Lovart is an ethical option for us small business owners who want to make use of all the helpful tools out here. So if there's one thing that I hope that you can take away from this video, it's that you don't need to have all the details of your brand figured out before you begin, but the most most important thing is to just spend some time understanding the heart of your business. You want to ask yourself what problem you're solving, what values you want your work to represent, and how you hope people will feel connected when they encounter it. So once you have been able to actually answer those questions, that visual identity becomes much easier to build because it's rooted in something actually meaningful. And if you're interested in trying Lovart and exploring the process for your own business, I'll leave a link for that in the description box below. And whether you're launching your first creative business or you're just simply refreshing your brand that you've grown over the years like I am, I think it's really helpful to be able to bring all those ideas together into one cohesive visual system. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you create and where can we find your work? Let us know, and also introduce yourself down there. And if you see another creator's work who resonates with you, then definitely leave them a little bit of encouragement too. We really need to spread the love these days because it's a lot of work being a creative small artist business. So, well, I hope this video gave you a bit more clarity and a few more ideas to think about with creating your own business. And as always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me in the next one.